want to do is we're going to merge a vehicle on top of another vehicle to get the blank plates. So basically, at the end, both vehicles are going to look the same, except for one of them is going to have blank plates. So we're going to convert this into a blank plate Porsche Hammer, but it has a hidden livery. And in order to be able to keep the hidden livery, we have to do a in-between merge first. So this is a livery they call it the reverse, I think. If you look at the livery, you can see that it's hidden. It's unselected. So in the previous video, what we did is we transferred over a blank plated Porsche Hammer. And in this video, we're going to convert that Porsche Hammer onto a blank plate Porsche Hammer. So exactly the same mods, everything's the same. What we have to take into consideration though is the fact that it's got a hidden livery. And you can't merge the same vehicle on top of another vehicle. So what I mean by that is you can't, like when you're doing the merge, you're going to use 3 vehicles throughout the merge. You're going to have the vehicle that you select the merges from, the vehicle that you transfer the merges to, and the vehicle you start the sprint with. None of those vehicles can be a duplicate within the same merge. So I can't just straight up merge the Volkswagen on top of the Volkswagen because it won't work. You gotta do an in-between merge. And since this one has a hidden livery, you have to use the Vagrant. Well, I would recommend to use the Vagrant as the vehicle that you are going to use as in between, because the Vagrant has a lot of liveries and is able to like support the hidden liveries, because sometimes they're a really high number. In this case, it's a pretty high number. A lot of vehicles wouldn't have that many livery number on them, but the Vagrant certainly does. It has like 27. So I'm gonna head over to the arena as I usually do. Now we're going to talk about settings as always. Let's start with that. So this is a back-to-back merge. The settings you're going to need to have are as followed. In your pause menu, you go to online, you go to options. You need to make sure that your join next mode from spectator box is set to don't join. Allow spectators is off, and matchmaking is closed. Moving to the right under settings, control, targeting modes needs to be assisted aim partial, and then your display needs to be performance, RT, or fidelity. If under your controls you have targeting mode something else, go to online, quit to main menu, and in the quit to main menu section you'll have an option for settings. You can only change your settings there. For the control, you'll be able to change settings there. Now that the settings is out of the way,
yes, I'd like to make a reservation for one, please.
For that section, under the blue interaction menu, you go to preferences and you head on over to map lip options. Under map lip options, you have series mode, contact missions, jobs, activities, rival gameplay, properties, stores, events. Every single one of them have to have custom and show for every subcategory. So look at my screen right now. You can see that every single one of those options is custom and show. It's not hide, it's custom and show. And all of those are showing, they're not hide. So series mode, all series mode are custom and show. Contact mission, all contact missions are custom and show. Jobs, all jobs are custom and show. All activities are custom and show. All rival businesses are custom and show. Properties, all properties are custom and show. Store, all stores are custom and show. Events, all events are custom and show. Alright, so got the settings out of the way. You can head on over to the ticket booth. Go to the arena war. You stand in front of the ticket booth. And then you hover over the job. You'll see a little start job square in a circle. Spawn. You don't touch it, but you need to have that spawn. Then you join Anahuac 1P5. To join Anahuac 1P5 hub, you go to friends, search players, and then you search for Anahuac, ANAWACK 1P as Peter 5, and then you send them like a message saying hi, and then you do the same thing for Anahuac 10P5, ANAWACK 10P5. Because you send them a chat, after that you can go into Game Hub under the little message bubble, and where you sent them a hi, you can go into that little box, and there's a little 3 dots as options underneath that box, and one of the options is add to favorites. Do that for both of them, for Anahuac 1P5 and 10P5, and what that'll do is that every time you go into the chat bubble, they're going to be pinned to the top. You'll be able to access them faster, and that's how you would access Anahuac 1P5 and 10P5. Alright, so once you hover over the job, there should be a square in a circle that says start job. You don't press it. At this point you join Anahuac 1P5.
Oh, yes, hello.
By accessing them through the members section. And then you're going to get a first alert, you press X, a second alert, you press X square. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to have the "Are you sure you want to start this job?" message, and then you head on over to the ticket booth. You press right on the D-pad, and then you buy a spectator event ticket by pressing X. You're going to get stuck at the ticket booth window. At this point, you join Anahuac 10P5. Now, I've definitely added more mentions of settings. Hopefully that's helpful to you guys. Taking the mystery away from, like, you know, what's in Anahuac. It's just a player that's set in a bad sport lobby that is online. Now when I would join Anahuac 10P5, it says the job you're currently joining is full, and then you accept the alert. Now you have a friend in the LS car meet, they invite you into the LS car meet. Now once you're in the LS car meet, you're going to have 2 vehicles. Your friend needs to have a vehicle you're never going to use in the merge. So the click I won't be using in the merge, and the Volkswagen is the vehicle whose mods I want to transfer over to the Vagrant. And I'm specifically transferring it to the Vagrant because it has a hidden livery. So in this case, I get into the other person's vehicle, and they start under their blue interaction menu in LS car meet. They start a sprint. I accept the sprint. When there's 2 seconds remaining, not 3, not 1, 2, exactly 2 seconds remaining, they will go to their blue interaction menu, they manage vehicles, and return personal vehicle to storage. So when there's 2 seconds remaining. Three, 2 now. Alright, what happens here is I get stuck in a black loading screen. So I join Anahuac 10P5. Now your friend has to stay in the LS car meet throughout this whole process until you tell them to leave. So they're still there. You just got to make sure that they don't get kicked out for being idle. So at this point, you go to Secure Serve CEO, register, start an organization, go back to Secure Serve CEO, get a CEO vehicle, and get a buzzard. And you slowly drive over to the buzzard. There's no rush. And the camera angles are a bit funny, so it can be a little bit tricky. Once you see your buzzard, you get into your buzzard, and then you fly high enough so that on the way down there's no survivors left. So you're gonna jump out without opening up your parachute when you're pretty high. What I like to do is time my descent in joining ANOVAC 10P5, because then I know that I've gone high enough and not too high. If you don't go high enough, sometimes the helicopter lands on your vehicle before you can do the next step, and it messes up the glitch. So at this point, you're going to get a banner that says wasted, and then only when you spawn back in your vehicle do you join ANOVAC 10P5. Now once you have joined ANOVAC 10P5, you go to Secure Serve CEO, go to CEO Abilities, and request a luxury helicopter. From here, you head on over to where your luxury helicopter spawns. Now if it's the first time you're doing it, you're gonna have to listen to the helicopter noises. Mine spawns generally here, so I immediately come here. It's very rare that it spawns anywhere else because I'm very consistent with my method. Alright, once the helicopter lands, you park far enough away so that you're not right there with it and accidentally get into your car every time. Get into the luxury helicopter and you press on your left joystick, you press down on it, quick travel, and then you select Maze Bank Tower. Now we're going to, once we're at the Maze Bank Tower, we're going to walk towards the receptionist. I'm making it look really easy, but it's actually quite tricky. You get used to it over time. Throughout this whole time, make sure that your friend doesn't get kicked out for being idle. They're still in the LS Army. They'll also notice that their minimap is gone. That's normal for your friend. Now you walk over towards the receptionist.
Hello.
From here, you press right on the D-pad when you're close enough. You get personal vehicle.
You got a nice fleet, boss.
And then you go and get the car where you want the merges to get onto. In my case, it's the Vagrant. Again, because it's a hidden livery.
Your personal vehicle is being brought up now.
I want it to go on the Vagrant. Now I've already organized my vehicles and I know where they are. So the first Rorschlagen is at the top. That's the one with the plate numbers. And the second Rorschlahammer is underneath it, which is the one with the blank plates. You just want to make sure you note down where your cars are and what you're using. Because it can get a bit tricky, especially back-to-back merges, and you're looking for something specific. Now here, once you're outside of the office, you go to your Secure Serve CEO, you request a CEO vehicle, you get a buzzard. If you're doing this very quickly, what you'll notice sometimes is a cooling off period. So there's my Vagrant, and I'm gonna go and run towards my helicopter. Now I like to run towards the helicopter rather than to drive, just because it reduces the risk of the helicopter landing on the vehicle. From here, I fly high enough so that there's no survivors left after I land, and I'm going to jump out without a parachute. As well, I'm going to go high enough so that on the way down, I'm going to try to be ready to join ANOVAC 10P5. Now, I don't join ANOVAC 10P5 until after the banner that says wasted and after I spawn into the car. Now the car that you saw outside isn't merged yet. It's only once I respawn into the vehicle that it'll actually be merged. There you go, so this is the merge, and from here I'm going to ask my friend in the LS Army to quit the game, Because it's a back-to-back, I have them close the game directly and then join back in the previous invite I sent them and have them and ask them to spawn in the LS car meet to save a bit of time. If you do a lot of merges, you want to find ways to reduce the delays, and this by doing it this way, it helps reduce the sprint cooling off period. From here, you must go to the Los Santos Customs to change something on the vehicle to save the modifications. A trick is you look towards the Vinewood lights. I know the location pretty much by heart, so you can also just follow me in terms of finding your way around, because you don't have a mini-map.
What miracle did you want me to perform?
Now, repairing your vehicle will not save your vehicle, so don't use that as a way to do that. I'm just going to change the transmission, and once I've done that, I'm going to wait for my friend to send me an invite again to the LS car meet, because this is a back-to-back. Now, although the livery doesn't look like the one on the Porsche Hammer, because I merged it onto the Vagrant directly, and it's the livery I want, it's the hidden livery, then I know for sure that that's the right livery. If you have a list of livery, just make sure you're very familiar with the way that it works. Now, for example, if you wanted to know, let's say for example you wanted to just keep the livery, but you didn't want to keep the rest of the merges, you use the Vagrant, and just to find the livery number, and here it's number 7. So let's say for example you wanted to know what the hidden livery number was because you couldn't find it, it's unselected. You merge it onto the Vagrant, and then from the Vagrant you'll be able to determine it, and then you do whatever merges you want onto the Vagrant and then change the livery to livery number 7. So this isn't a particularly exceptional livery. Because it's number 7, it's not like number 15 or something. That would be very unlikely to be on other vehicles, but to reduce wasting your time, merge it onto the Vagrant to find out what the livery number is. Galaxy's like number 27, just to give you an idea. There's not a lot of vehicles that can have up to 27 liveries. Alright, so once you're back in the car meet, you got an invite, you would restart the whole process to merge. So now this is back-to-back merge. You're still glitched out, you don't need to go back to the arena. From here, your friend has invited you to the LS car meet. They have a car out that will not be used in any of the merges. You jump into their vehicle, they will start a sprint. They go into the blue interaction menu, LS car meet sprint, you accept the sprint. Now because I closed the game earlier, instead of changing sessions, they were able to start the sprint right away. Now when there's 2 seconds left, they go into their blue interaction menu, return personal vehicle to storage. I have it prepared. They're ready, they're hovering over the return personal vehicle to storage. And when there's 2 seconds remaining, that's when they press the button. So 2, not 3, now. Not 1. Now you're going to go into that infinite black loading screen with a white loading circle on it, and from here you join ANOAC 10P5. You're gonna get a job as full alert, which is normal. You're already in your CEO, so you go into your CEO vehicles and you get a buzzard. You slowly drive over towards your buzzard. Now, using the Vagrant, sometimes you do lose some features, so don't be surprised if you have to spend more money on the final merged vehicle to get it to this to back to form, or to get it upgraded the way you wanted it. Just be mindful of that. You don't want to be merging onto a vehicle, upgrading it completely, then realizing you need to get a hidden livery, put it onto the Vagrant, and then having to upgrade it again. That costs a lot of money. So you fly up in the buzzard high enough so that the helicopter won't land on the vehicle and that you will not survive. And once you have flashed spawned into the vehicle, then you go ahead and join ANOAC 10P5. See, if I didn't fly higher than that, that helicopter could have landed before the wasted sign, and that would have affected the merge. Once you can access your blue interaction menu, go ahead into your CO and request that in CO abilities and request a luxury helicopter. From here, you head on over to where your helicopter is likely to spawn. So because you're doing back to back, if you did it pretty consistently, as in you didn't go too far away, it should spawn in the same location. But if you it went crazy, it went wild, listen to the helicopter noise and follow it, and then head on over to it once you can see it land. Now sometimes it does some crazy stuff, so just listen for the helicopter to drive around and so on. Alright, once you're in the luxury helicopter, you press down on the left joystick, press, and that's L3, and select Maze Bank Tower to where you go. Meanwhile, again, your friend is in the LS car meet, and they're not getting kicked out for being idle.
Good to see you, boss.
Once you're in the office, you head over to your assistant.
Hi there.
And you press right on the D-pad when you're close enough. Get personal vehicle, and now we're going to merge it onto the second Rochdale hammer. This one has blank plates. When you have a vehicle with blank plates, when you merge on top of them, plates remain blank. That's why it's special. When you buy a vehicle with blank plates at the LS car meet, the person who purchased it has numbers. So the reason I'm making this car into blank plates is because a lot of people like it, and they could buy it at the LS car meet. But if I have the blank plate one, it shows that I'm more likely to have been the creator or close to the creator. In this case, I am the one who's merging it. So this is the car that's going to get merged onto. The Vagrant's going to get merged onto that one. I like to run towards my buzzard. So once you're outside of the office, you request a buzzard. Don't move too much, and then you'll be able to get to your buzzard fairly quickly. And you fly up in the air. You want to fly high enough so that you don't survive landing after you jump out without a parachute. Again, your friend is still in the LS car meet, and they're not moving, so they don't get kicked out for being idle. Once you feel you're high enough, jump out. And only when you land back in, you spawn back into your vehicle, do you join ANOAC 10P5. You can join before, but you're gonna have to do it again. So this allows you to know when to do it, so you don't end up having to do it twice. And at this point, you have your friend leave the session. If you're doing another back-to-back merge, have them close the game and join you back by spawning into the LS car meet to the last invite you sent them. Because now you back to back, you would have sent an invite earlier. There we go. So now this car has blank plates and all the merges mods that I wanted earlier. So when I sell it at the LS car meet, I will be the only one with blank plates. Anyone who buys the vehicle will have numbers on their plates. The only other way to keep the blank plates is giving cars to friends, which lately, in my previous videos, you'll notice a lot of the vehicles that I'm doing give car to friends glitch have blank plates, and this is the reason why. Now the last step is you need to go to Los Santos Customs, because you're going to have to change something on the vehicle to save the merges.
Here for the magic touch? All patched up.
Yeah, prefer that. Because it's got a blank plate, I want to have a blank plate on it.
Just looking at that engine gives me a hard on.
Red headlight covers to emphasize the redness. Got unselected horn. Got red lights. Unselected livery. Ring roof, yep, I think I like that. I might want a different rear bumper. Might keep this stock. Just so that I could emphasize that it's LS car meet plates. Unselected wheel color, tire design, lower it all the way down.
That's a beauty right there.
There we go. So keeping the hidden livery, this is how you would do it. Because it's a drift vehicle, I'm just gonna double check that it still has all the drift features at the LS car meet.
So Santa's still looking for a wheelman. Right? Bye.
Yeah, still has drift tuning. Just what I'm gonna check. You can only check that at the LS car meet. Suspension all the way lowered. Great. Now, for those who are wondering, you know, once you're glitched out, do you have to leave the session? Maybe you don't want to, you know, quit out on your friends. So you can unglitch. You join Analog F1 you accept the first alert, you decline the second alert, and then you accept the third alert. Decline the second, accept the third. And then your minimap shows up, and then you're back to being able to do anything you want. I'm going to drive it into the Pinewood Club garage. Now essentially have the same vehicle, but this one does not have blank plates. So this will be my next donor vehicle. I like to get rid of vehicles as soon as I know that, especially if I duplicate the vehicle, I get rid of the one that I don't want to keep as soon as possible, so that I don't get confused and disorganized.
What the hell?
Now this will, because there's a vehicle already there, it's going to replace the vehicle that was there, which I think was the LG. I put this one in the back of the MLC, so now I know which one's my next donor vehicle. Alright, in the next video I'm going to talk about how to modify the features on your female character.